What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am back again for another video as I do a review of our game yesterday, of course, the 1-0 loss at Ewood Park. But first of all, before we get into the dissect the game for you, if you are watching this, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and comment your thoughts below. What did you make of the game yesterday? But yeah, I'm going to get straight into it now. So obviously, first of all, the team lineups. I actually got this nearly right actually, and he played the 4-2-3-1 formation. And yeah, it seemed to be the same lineup apart from Boyle and Ward starting. That differed my lineup that I kind of predicted last time in the preview show. So yeah, like I say, Nichols in goal, Spencer, Heelick, Boyle, Josh Ruffles with Kasumu and Kamara in the middle. Thomas back, of course, Radone, Holmes, and then Ward leading the line. And obviously, when you look at the bench, obviously it was a massive plus to see Ben Jackson back. I didn't expect to see him back so soon, actually, after that nasty looking injury that he got midweek. But he seemed to be, obviously he didn't want to risk him in this one, but to see him on the bench is a massive plus for us. Obviously he didn't come on, but yeah, I think that at least we've got him back. We'll probably see him on Tuesday night against QPR, but obviously we'll have to see. But yeah, and then obviously Nakayama obviously out for the season now, which again is just really gutting for him and for us really, because it'll be a massive loss. But yeah, let's get into the game then. So obviously we the first half was not very good really from our perspective. We couldn't really carve out any chances. Most of our chances came in the second half. Pretty much speculative efforts in the first half really. I can't remember any chances in the first half for us, but obviously Blackburn did have most of the ball in that first half too, so obviously creating a lot more. So the goal came from a ball over the top. Again, disappointing to get, to allow them to get in behind so easily. Our line seemed to be too high in this one, to be honest with you. Obviously Diaz gets in behind, cuts inside. He was allowed to cut inside, which again was poor. And obviously he scores it, but like I said, the goal coming 10 minutes before half time. You're wanting to get into half time 0-0 really if you're Huddersfield and if you're us, and yeah, we just couldn't hold out till half time, and obviously conceding just a massive blow late on in that third. Like I say, especially defending pretty well up until that point. But yeah, it was one of those. So the second half, yeah, not much to say about the first half from our perspective. Obviously Blackburn had a few chances, and but it wasn't the most exciting first half, if I'm honest with you. Second half, we definitely came into the game. We had chances, especially the one that fell to Radone's feet. Like I said, really central in the box, and he miscued. He just doesn't connect with it properly. And you're thinking to yourself, the space he had, the distance, how close he was to the goal, you've got to be putting that in the back of the net, I'm afraid. And he just didn't. Obviously Nichols again making some fantastic saves, keeping us in the match as always. And yeah, obviously Blackburn did have a goal disallowed. It was offside. I didn't look back at the replays, so yeah, can't really complain too much from either side about that. It was definitely offside. Obviously Ward got himself into a nice position. Like I say, got pushed out wide a bit, but he kind of passes the ball in. someone should have been there in the middle. They weren't, and Blackburn were allowed to scramble it away. But yeah, someone has to be there for me to meet that passing. You've got to be, busting their gut to get in there. But we never really seem to do that for some reason. Obviously, Diarra did come on. Obviously, the youngster that's come through the academy. In the 72nd minute. I think the substitutions were really late. I'm not sure why he left it so late, to be honest with you. And he also would have made a few more changes as well. Only making 2 when you're chasing the game. I'm sorry, but that really is silly. I mean, to be fair though, if you look at the bench, most of our players are defenders. Obviously, Hayden could have come on, maybe made an impact. Obviously, attacking down that right hand side, or left hand side, should I say. But either wing. In Betty, he looked a bit shaky, so I'm not sure he would have come on anyway. Ben Jackson, he didn't want to risk Ben, of course. I kind of get that, but and obviously Conor Mahoney was still available to use. I probably would have brought him on for Holmes, because Holmes really had a poor game for me. He just, he was just, it was awful really from him, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, like I said, Diarra did come on. The first substitution, and it didn't take him long to get involved either. He looked very lively when he did come on. He got involved very quickly, testing the keeper. Great save, like I said, great save, but it was a bit straight at him. But it was a good effort. He had a go, and he showed some nice skill before that to get into a shooting position. Obviously, then he decided to take off Ward in the 81st minute. Now, I'm not sure why he took off Ward, because he did bring on Rhodes, like for like, but surely he should be keeping Ward on and bringing Rhodes on and taking somebody else off and going 2 up front when you're chasing the game. I just don't get it. I really don't. We're trying to get a goal, and you're taking off, someone that could potentially be involved in a goal or score. But yeah, I just found it really confusing, and you could sense obviously in the crowd people were a bit confused as well. Why you decide to take off Road when you're trying to get an equaliser? You just keep both your strikers on, and try and create something and try and get a goal between the two of them. But yeah, I don't know. So the corners as well, I want to mention this game. I mean, they were so poor. We did have quite a number of corners, and if we look at the stats here, just check how many corners we got because I've lost count. We had 4 corners, and I don't remember in fact, we didn't create a chance from any of them, sorry. And Thomas's delivery was very poor actually. So he didn't even beat the first man. It wasn't just that it was a poor cut. It was just, it was dreadful really. Like I say, set pieces are a key thing for us. So the fact that we couldn't make anything from them was really frustrating. Obviously there was a penalty shot from us. Obviously, great ball in. Thomas controls it. Now it did look a bit strange because it did look like it caught Thomas, the defender, and it did look a bit clumsy, but the referee waved it away. Not sure why. It looked like a penalty to me. And having spoken to a few of us, people seem to think that it is a penalty as well. So I don't know why the referee didn't see that. He was in clear view of it. And yeah, but like I say, we don't get any help from the referees anymore anyway, so we're used to that. So yeah, it's one of those. We just have to get on with it, which really is annoying and frustrates me. But we've never really had the roll of the dice with the referees anyway. Yeah, like I said, 2 substitutions should have been more than that for me. You've got to gamble. You've got to get some fresh legs on. I would have liked to maybe see Hayden come on. Like I say, attacking. wing back. Even playing third forward, you can play midfield. He's quite a versatile player. I would like to see Mahoney maybe, like I say, he may have come on and done something. But yeah, and then like I said, we should have brought on the subs earlier as well. I'm not sure why he's waited till the 72nd minute to make us change when it should have really been done about 5-10 minutes earlier, in my opinion. But yeah, like I say, the last 20 minutes we did have most of the ball. We was really pressing. We were really pushing for that equaliser. I can't fault the effort. It's one of those. All the players are really trying. We're just lacking that quality, unfortunately, at the moment. Our numbers are really thin on the bench as well. The quality on the field. I don't want to take anything away from anybody on the pitch, but the quality isn't there. Ward and Rhodes, pretty much experienced pros, but you need somebody else as well, because we need another striker that can be more energetic, more quick, a bit of pace about them, and yeah, we just don't have that option. I want to mention obviously Boyle coming in for his first start for the club. I think he was very, very good, by the way. I think that Boyle came in, and yeah, I think it's definitely up there with with some of the good performances that we've seen from our centre halves this season. So yeah, full credit to him for that. I'm not sure where Lees was. Obviously, nothing kind of. I'm presuming he was either ill or he's picked up a knock, but there's been no kind of communication regarding that, so I'm not sure what's happened there. Obviously, Leeds would have been starting had he been fit, but yeah, we'll have to find out what's happened with him over the next few days. Maybe it's going to be asked in the press conference before our game midweek. But yeah, so yeah, I wanted to mention Boyle. Boyle was definitely a great player for us, and definitely defensively did his job, and yeah, obviously it was a good, very, very solid performance from him. Obviously then, yeah, Blackburn, we threw everything at Blackburn, to be fair. We did try everything, we just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. That's the ultimate. And how many times have we said that this season, though? It's just so annoying and really frustrating. Obviously, and then obviously Blackburn did see out the game, and obviously I do want to comment on this because I don't particularly like it. Obviously, Mark, our coach, goes straight down the tunnel after the game. No acknowledgement to us fans. I think that was just really disappointing and really annoying, to be honest with you. I think that it's all well and good coming over to the fans when you've won, but you've got to be gracious in defeat as well. And if you're just going to be, storming down the tunnel at the end of the game, it doesn't really put you in the best of lights, if I'm honest. And that's just me being honest. I'm not criticising anybody here. I'm just saying I don't particularly like that when managers just go down the tunnel straight after a game. Yeah, I know you've got to show some appreciation to the fans that came. No matter how far they've come, obviously it was a short journey to Blackburn, not very far to travel, but regardless, you still got to come up and acknowledge the fans, to me. But yeah. So yeah, another loss. Back to the drawing board again. 2 losses on the bounce now. Yeah, I mean, this situation is just worsening by the minute, really. It really is. I mean, the gap has now extended by a point, so it's 6 points from getting out of the relegation zone. We have got a game in hand on our opponents around us, though, which is worth noting. And that is, of course, the game against Coventry, which was postponed early on in the season because of their pitch being in very, very bad condition due to a lot of rugby being played, wasn't it, in the forgot what it. Yeah, there were a lot of rugby being played on it, so that's why it was so badly in a bad state. But yeah, so we have got a game in hand, but I don't really care about that. We need to be getting points on the board. Okay, Blackburn flying high in the championship at the top, but I go back to it. The goal we conceded was really, really poor. We've seen that so many times this season. It wasn't a special goal. It wasn't a goal that we could say, "Oh wow, great effort." We could have done nothing about it. It could have been avoided, and ultimately we conceded. So it's just frustrating, and especially because obviously we didn't concede any more, so the fact that we couldn't keep them out in that instance makes it even more frustrating. But yeah, I mean, for us, we can all see it still. The clinical edge is just not there for us. We can't score, and yeah, we're not creating it. We need to be creating more to be able to be scoring, and if we're not creating enough, then you're not giving yourself a chance to score. We probably need over 10 shots to actually get a goal, and that's the reality. Which is, sometimes you just got to grind out wins and get points. And maybe you've got to be more clinical ultimately, and we're just not at the moment. Like I said, the situation we're in just looks so difficult. I think the break for the World Cup will be really, really beneficial for us. Maybe get a few players back, regroup, and go again in a month's time after next weekend. I can only hope. We can only hope that as fans that will happen. Obviously, we've got 2 games remaining before the World Cup break. QPR on Tuesday, and then back at home on Saturday against Swansea. 2 really tough games, but we need to be at least winning one of them, and maybe sneaking a point at QPR. But like I said, I'm not really, expecting us to get anything at QPR. To be honest with you, another team that's really doing well. But yeah, sometimes if we can get a point at QPR, that'd be great. Like I say, if you look at the fine margin of this game, if we didn't, if we could have just kept Blackburn out, especially the timing of the goal was really bad for us just before half time, really. If we can keep QPR out, then we could potentially get a point. But I don't know. I really, like I said, words fail me at the moment with the situation we're in. The mess we're in is just unforgivable. How we have got ourselves into this. But yeah, it's one of those. There's no time to feel sorry for yourselves. There's another game on Tuesday. We have to focus on that one and try and get something out of the game. And yeah, hopefully, we can. If not, we have to win, like I say, on Saturday before the break for the World Cup. So, yeah, another defeat for us. Another frustrating afternoon. And yeah, it's just losing has become a horrible pattern for us, unfortunately. And that has made it 11 losses this season, which isn't a very good viewing at all, for sure. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Like I say, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment your thoughts on the game below. Let me know what you think. Be good to hear from you. So you can follow me on my socials, HTFTV8 on Instagram and Twitter. So please go and give me a follow on those. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you on the next one. As always, up the town, come on town, and I will always support the club no matter where we are, no matter what we do. I'll always stick by the club. We can only hope as fans that we turn the corner very soon, because we don't want to be cutting ourselves adrift too much. We've got to keep it in with the pack and then try and get out of it as quickly as we can. But yeah, until the next time, guys, see you very soon. I'll be back tomorrow for a preview of our game against QPR. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you soon.